You have to think outside the box because most people don't. Most people stay stuck in jobs they hate, living a life they don't love, not because they have to, but because they can't see another way. They've been handed a box and told, this is how life works. Go to school, get a job, work 40 years, hope you retire. But what if that's not the only way? Today I'm going to show you 3 ways I started thinking outside the box, and it completely changed my life. But before we jump in, I want to hear from you. What box do you feel stuck in right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. All right, let's get into it. When I first started out, I had this mindset that the only way to make money was working a 9-to-5 job. That's all I knew. Now, I grew up around investing, but I didn't understand it. I didn't know how to actually do it. And that's one of the big reasons that I started this channel, was to help people who are just starting out avoid the mistakes and start sooner than I did. But because once I finally shifted my thinking, everything changed. So here are 3 ways I broke out of the box. Number 1, I started looking at what I already had differently. I began asking, where do I already have resources I'm not using? And for me, that answer was equity. If you own a home, there's a good chance you're sitting on equity, and most people never touch it. But I realized something. That equity isn't just sitting there for no reason, it's a tool. So I started learning about things like cash out refinancing, HELOCs or home equity lines of credit. And instead of letting that money sit, I used it to invest. Now hear me clearly, this isn't about being reckless. This is about being intentional, using equity to buy rental properties, flip houses, or start businesses. That's how you turn what you have into more. Most people are trying to start from zero, when in reality, they're already holding the seed, they just don't see it. Number 2, I stopped spending my tax return and I started investing it. Let me ask you something. What do most people do when they get a tax return? They celebrate, they spend it, they upgrade something, and just like that, it's gone. I used to do the same thing, but then I realized that tax return could actually be a launch pad. Instead of buying things that go down in value, I started putting it into things that go up, assets, because assets are what create freedom. That might look like saving toward a down payment or investing in a deal, starting something on the side. And yeah, you might have to skip the fun stuff for a season, but I can tell you from experience, temporary sacrifice creates long-term freedom. And that trade, it's worth every single time. Number 3, and this one's different. I completely rethought how we live. I did something most people wouldn't even consider. I moved my parents and my grandparents in with me. Now I know some of y'all just clicked off mentally right there, but hear me out. My grandparents are getting older. They wanted something low maintenance, something that would keep them out of a nursing home. And my parents, they just wanted to be closer to the grandkids. So instead of maintaining 3 separate homes, we combined everything into one large home, and then we took the other houses and we turned those into rental properties. Now think about that for a second. Instead of 3 mortgages, we created income. Instead of separate bills, we share expenses. And today, none of us really carry the same financial burden that we used to. It became a win-win for everyone. Now, is this for everybody? No, but that's the point. Thinking outside the box rarely looks normal, but normal is what keeps most people stuck. So how do you actually start thinking like this? It's simple, but it's not easy. You start with the end in mind. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want for my kids? What kind of freedom am I chasing? Because when you get clear on the destination, you start seeing different paths to get there. You stop asking, what's the normal way to do this? And you start asking, what's the best way to do this? That's where creativity kicks in. That's where solutions show up, and that's where your life starts to change. If this video helped you think a little differently, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who feels stuck right now. And don't forget, drop a comment. What box are you trying to break out of? Also, if you want help mapping this out for your own life, I offer a free 30-minute coaching call. The link is in the description. I'd love to help you get started. And if you're serious about real estate, check out this next video where I break down the exact strategy I use to buy properties with little to no money. You don't have to stay stuck, guys. You just have to be willing to think differently. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next one.